Talking Movies.
Interesting facts about Gregory Peck's Western movies. Gregory Peck was a multi-talented actor that could turn his hand to just about any movie genre. Today we are taking a look at his Western movies, made between the 40s all the way up to the 1970s. Let's get started. Jewel in the Sun, 1946. Biracial Pearl Chavez becomes the ward of her dead father's first love and finds herself torn between two brothers, one good and the other bad.
Perla, I'm going. Fast, are you? Ain't you coming up? I want to see you. I gotta see you. Pearl, where are you? Where are you? Hurry!
Yellow Sky, 1948. A gang led by James Stretch Dawson, Gregory Peck, robs a bank, chased by soldiers, and chooses to cross the salt flats of Death Valley. After an arduous journey, collapses from heat and dehydration. The outlaws come upon a ghost town called Yellow Sky and its only residents, a tough young woman called Mike, Ann Baxter, and her prospector grandfather, James Barton.
You ready to back up that remark or not?
The Gunfighter, 1950. A reckless young cowboy deliberately provokes an argument with a notorious gunfighter, Jimmy Ringo, widely known as the fastest draw in the West, making him the target of every young gunslinger eager to become famous as the man who shot Ringo.
Did you see that?
Eddie draws his weapon.
Yes, sir.
Ringo has no
Me too
choice
first.
but to kill him.
You see it?
Eddie's three brothers seek revenge and pursue Ringo as he leaves town. Ringo ambushes and disarms them, driving off their horses. He tells them to walk back to town. Instead, they follow him on foot. Only the Valiant, 1951. Following the American Civil War, peace is maintained in the New Mexico Territory by Fort Invincible, a fortification set up outside a mountain pass that blocks marauding bands of Apache. The Apache are able to eventually take the fort by cutting off its water supply, then assaulting the fort when its garrison is at its weakest and killing all the defenders. A despised cavalry commander is unfairly blamed by his troops for the death of a popular officer and must redeem himself in front of his men during an Indian attack on the fort. The Bravados, 1958. Jim Douglas, Gregory Peck, is a rancher pursuing four outlaws he is convinced murdered his wife. He rides into Rio Arriba, where these four men are in jail awaiting execution for an unrelated murder. The sheriff allows Douglas to see the men. In town, Douglas happens upon Josefa Velada, Joan Collins, whom he met and fell in love with 5 years previously. She has been looking after her late father's ranch and has never married. Douglas reveals that he did marry, is now a widower, and that he has a daughter. Josefa later learns from a priest the truth of how Douglas's wife died. The Big Country, 1958. Former sea captain James McKay travels to the American West to join his fiancée Patricia at her father's ranch. Henry Terrell, referred to as the Mayor. After a meeting with Patricia's friend, schoolteacher Julie Marigon, McKay and Patricia are accosted by a group of drunks led by Buck Hennessy, the son of the mayor's enemy Rufus Hennessy.
Your choice.
In spite of the harassment and mockery, McKay surprises Patricia by making light of the incident and stating that his experience worse and the boys meant no harm. How the West Was Won, 1962. A family saga covering several decades of westward expansion in the 19th century, including the Gold Rush, the Civil War, and the building of the railroads.
Except you. Ready? What's the matter with you? I'm checking out. Checking out? What's the matter with you?
The Stalking Moon, 1968. US Army soldiers round up a group of Apache, mostly women and children. Surprisingly, they find among them a white woman and her half-Apache son. McKenna's Gold, 1969. A bandit kidnaps a marshal who has seen a map showing a gold vein on Indian lands, but other groups are looking for it too, while the Apache try to keep the secret location undisturbed. Shootout, 1971. A former bank robber, played by Peck, released from prison after 7 years, searches for his double-crossing partner who left him for dead during a robbery, while having to look after a 6-year-old girl left in his care.
I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna shoot that apple off your head. You think you can stop me? You draw.
Billy Two Hats, 1974. Following a robbery, runaway Scottish outlaw Arch Deans and his young half-breed Kiowa partner Billy Two Hats develop a father-son relationship, but Sheriff Henry Guilford is determined to capture or kill them.
Well, they're going towards